Hi, Robert Kiyosaki, and you probably just saw Carol being interviewed by my sweetheart Kim, and I was very impressed. I didn't know you were with Mary Kay and all that. That's really congratulations.
Thank you.
And what's the title of your new book coming out?
Why I Had to Leave a Good Man.
That is a great title. That is
Thank
a great
you.
title. Tom and I cringe when we hear that. But and then, so this is Carol. If you didn't see Carol's piece with Kim, please watch it. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you got to watch it because all you guys who are good men, somebody's going to dump you pretty quickly. And the reason Tom is here is because we're going to talk to Carol about real financial education, because that's what we don't have in school. And financial education always begins with debt and taxes, and they don't teach that. You know, they tell you to work hard and pay taxes. That's really silly, okay? So anyway, we're going to be talking to Kara about real financial education. Tom's going to be here. But the real reason I wanted Kara on the program is I met her at the Quillies. I didn't know, I didn't even know what I was there for, but apparently this is pretty hot stuff. This is like the Oscars, and it was at the same place where the Oscars are held and all that. So why were you there in Hollywood?
I was just there with a friend who was, she was part of that community. We did a course a year before, the Warrior Training Camp together.
Jeez.
And so.
Well, you're in it, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
You're in the personal development stuff.
I'm very much into personal development. And so she made a comment on my picture in Facebook and told me, I said, oh, we got to reconnect. She goes, I said, I'll come and visit you in Boston. And she says, or you can meet me on the road. I'm in LA next week. Why don't you come and connect? And I was like, LA sounds good. Yeah. And so I just booked the next flight and I was there. And then of course, Mr. Kiyosaki shows up and I'm like, what? That was worth the ticket.
There you go. But anyway, Kara is an attorney by trade and all this, but I was most impressed talking to you is you originally came from Haiti.
Yes.
And Haiti is right next to the Dominican Republic where I think, what's his name? What's that baseball player?
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Yeah.
The way out of poverty for a lot of the guys from the DR was through baseball.
Right.
And Haiti and Dominican Republic, Haiti is really, really in poverty shape, right?
Haiti just really is battling its own, what I would say, mindset, its own mindset demons, right? I say all the time, if you speak to a Haitian person, and you'll relate to that because you speak French, everything that a Haitian person says, they put T in front of it, like petit.
Oh, really?
So if I ask, instead of asking for a glass of water, they'll ask for a petit de l'eau, a little water.
Really?
If they want to talk about money, it's a petit cob, a little money. So everything is T. So by the power of the tongue, which you understand, you can only create little.
Yeah, and the reason I'm talking to Kara is it's spreading all over the world right now. And there's more and more predictions coming out from my friends. They say we're going to revolution in America pretty quickly because the poverty is going too far. They're not used to being poor. Any comments on that, Tom?
Well, it's just that massive gap that's going on, and it comes back to what we're always talking about is it comes back to financial education.
Right.
You don't have any financial education, then you're going to do what your parents did, or you're going to do what you're taught in school. Right. And if you don't have the opportunity, if you don't learn something new, you're just going to be what you always were.
Right. If you look at like LA and all over the U.S. now, homelessness is skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And that's in America. So you don't have to go to Haiti to see the same thing. And the reason I wanted to talk to Kara is because when I was younger, they used to call it PMA, positive mental attitude. What was it? W. Clement Stone.
Yes.
And he was combined life insurance, and they took young guys like me and put us in the street and knocked on doors and sold insurance. But that was not the education I was looking for. I can sell, So the thing I want to talk to you about is you're now an attorney. Congratulations. What school did you go to?
Nova Southeastern University.
All right. And then you're making a lot of money now.
I'm doing well.
And the reason I wanted Tom here, because this is where financial education breaks down with positive thinking and all that. I mean, didn't your accountant tell you to increase your expenses, possibly make less money and all
Right.
that? She didn't tell you how to pay no taxes.
No.
So what did she tell you, or he tell you?
Well, she said, well, this is what your tax bill is looking like right now this year.
It's going up.
And it's
Because you're
pretty
successful.
significant. Well,
And
I
you're
had a good year. I had
Yeah.
a really good year. And so she says, you know, you probably need to stop not making any more money this year.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah.
You see, that's,
Because, you know, single mom,
Oh, geez.
all of the
but you understand that's the same, was it Potito or something?
petite.
So she's telling you the same thing.
Right.
And she doesn't live in Haiti, does she?
No.
Where does she live?
Florida.
Be small.
Yeah.
And she's telling, Tom, you hear that a lot, right? Make less money.
It's shocking. It's shocking because we only have a 37% top tax rate. And you're saying, turn down $1 so that you don't have to pay 37 cents. It makes absolutely no sense at all. I hear it all the time. If you want to pay less tax, make less money. So that has to be the dumbest advice.
But the thing here is this, you got to fire your accountant. You see, your accountant is no different than a person in Haiti. And they're giving you bad advice. I think the reason I wanted Tom here is because I don't know much about taxes, but I pay extremely little bit in taxes. Trump and I don't pay much in taxes at all. And that's financial education. Not tell you not to work, to cut back, cut down expenses or increase expenses and all that, because that keeps people poor. See, Tom, would you show Kara your book, and he'll give you a copy of it autographed.
Tax
For
free
sure.
world.
So,
I need to read.
so
Yeah.
for sure.
But you read it, and then you give it to that accountant of yours,
For sure.
and fire her that day.
You know, Carrie, you talk about mindset, right? And it's the mindset, the small mindset, the mindset. Too many people are scared to death of taxes. Oh, it's too complicated. I can't possibly deal with this, you know. And so then what they do is they listen to stupid advice like, don't earn any more money, which is like seriously
Ridiculous.
stupid. So
Well, what was that French word again?
petite.
Petite.
This is the Haitian
The
word.
Creole is petit. The French is petit, is little.
Petite, little.
And what
Little.
is accountants? Petite brain?
For sure. And because what happens is if you're afraid of something, right, you try to stay away from it. Right. So what tax-free wealth is about is how to look at taxes the way they actually exist, which is as a series of incentives. That's all they are. They're really just a series of incentives for people to produce. You talked about production. You know, you have to produce, not just consume. You need to produce. Well, the way the tax law works is that if you continue to produce, you should never have to pay taxes, because that's the way the tax law that's the way the tax law really works. And the problem is you have a lot of people that are afraid of it, including the accountants. Your accountant clearly is afraid of taxes.
Right.
That's what's going on. Your accountant is afraid. You talk about personal development. Let's get accountants getting some personal development here, because she's afraid of taxes. She's afraid of learning the law and understanding what the law is, because once you understand the law, you go, this is not that hard. I mean, to reduce somebody like Robert, I mean, you think about the millions and millions of dollars he's making on books, et cetera, and to be able to, and to think, wow, how does he pay such low taxes? Or how does a Donald Trump pay low taxes? It's not because they're cheating, it's because they're following the law the way it was intended, and they just understand the law. So this is where the financial education comes in. It's just understanding. It's very simply, how do you think about it?
So if you look at this here, I'm going to show you the cash flow quadrant. ES, BNI, E stands for employee. You're an S. Smart, specialist, attorney. You guys pay the highest taxes. So that's what happens when you say to somebody, go to school, become an accountant or an attorney, and you'll pay the highest taxes. How much do employees and attorneys pay in America?
Well, typically, if you're earning a really good wage, you're going to pay about 40% in taxes.
As an employee.
As an employee. If you're self-employed, you're going to pay up to 60%. So it's on the other. There's a flip side to it, of course, right? There's that being the I side, and they pay a lot less. So really, the people who pay the most are actually the people who have the most education, which is scary.
Great.
Doctors, lawyers, accountants.
When I was talking to Kara on the phone, when she told me what your accountant said, I know
That pissed you off. Literally, I was like, I just pissed
That's
him off.
malpractice. You know, that's
Yeah.
like going to a doctor and saying you have cancer, but take a vitamin. You know what I mean? It's not going to cure the problem. So the problem is a lack of financial education in our school system. And that's what my concern is. If you want to help the people of Haiti, you've got to get better educated. Because to tell people to work hard and pay more taxes,
Right.
no, they're going to go black market so quick. You know what I mean? They're going to go underground. And that's what's happening when you don't have to go underground. Do I have to go underground?
Not at all. In fact, I mean, we're always talking about everything is legal, ethical, and moral. And when you do that, it's okay. You can do that when you understand, when you get educated. If you're not educated, then what you tend to do is cheat.
Yeah. So once again, the reason I wanted Kara here, she's obviously very bright and all that, but she actually comes from isn't Haiti one of the poorest parts in the world today?
Most impoverished nation in the Western Hemisphere.
Jesus. Wow. And you know, my old man was poor, but he was just stupid. I mean, he was a PhD, you know, but he didn't know nothing. But he was a poor man, just in his attitude. You know, Elvis said, I can't afford it.
Right.
You know, I can't be rich because I have your kids. That's why he was poor. It was his attitude.
His mentality, his
Right.
mindset.
And the thing with, didn't Haiti just have a massive hurricane go through there?
Yeah.
What year was that?
We had an earthquake.
Earthquake
first,
and a hurricane?
And then a hurricane.
God, you pissed God off someplace, man.
Bad jujus, for sure. We attract some bad jujus. Oh, yeah, we got something going on there. Yeah, and you know it's a constant. It's like I was telling
Nature.
Kim. It's you almost have to really get that the vibrational content of the space that Haiti is in is not, you know, it's not in flow for sure.
Right.
Right. And so how even myself, you know, when I first started earning money in the US, you know, and having my law firm and being in Mary Kay, I still was dealing with that mindset. And I remember it didn't matter whether I had made $5,000, $10,000, I made it disappear. I constantly created not enough. And so one day I had to decide to do this paradigm shift for myself.
Right.
I was like, okay,
but
there's something running me here.
Yeah,
that's
but those
not
guys who are
working.
teaching that BS and personal development, and it is BS. It's good stuff.
Right.
They forget to tell you about debt and taxes.
Correct. Because then that's where you get to where I am, where you do the shift. Now the money's coming.
And you got to pay more taxes.
And it's like, oh shit, this so they can now have another problem.
That's right.
Now I have another problem.
I'm glad you're here.
There you go.
Now I have another problem, right? Good problem, but a problem nonetheless, right?
But there's something else that's happening all over the world right now. What are the odds her accountant is going to be wiped out anyway?
Oh, very high. Very high. I mean, the whole accounting profession, just like the legal profession, and actually a lot of the medical profession, a lot of professions are going to be wiped out with the new technology. When you get a combination, especially accountants, because you have a combination of blockchain technology and AI, and when those things work together, if you're an accountant,
You're gone.
and you're not doing something way more than, you know, historical stuff, you're out of here. I mean, within 5 years. I think it'll be that fast.
Yeah. And the same thing as my medical doctor. I was sitting there. He says, I'm going to lose my job. He's a radiologist. He says, AI and blockchain can read my x-rays better than I can. So your accountant who's giving you bad advice, you know, she's going to be applying to you for a job, but she'll probably be back to law school, which would be a horrible thing. But anyway, you know what I mean? So the reason I wanted to talk to Kara, not, you know, first to talk to Kim about, because we need more successful, driven women like you. I'm really happy about that. So I was impressed with you at the Quillies, you know. But also, if you're going to educate the people of Haiti, you can't go in there with the PMA stuff, positive mental attitude, personal development stuff. It's all important, but you got to be smarter financially also.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, really. They need tools. They need to know.
Well, how many billions went into Haiti?
Too many. And
how much is left?
None.
Nothing. Did somebody just put it in their pocket?
Well, evidently it went somewhere. It definitely did not go into developing the country.
You know, and when you think about it, though, I've been to Haiti, and there's there's lots of entrepreneurs there. I mean, you see them on the streets; they're vending. They're entrepreneurs, though, so they have a mindset. They'll do anything to make it. They just don't have the education for it.
And then you take them to the U.S. where the opportunities are, and they flourish. They boom. So it's not a lack of desire or hustle
Exactly.
or
laziness.
Exactly.
We don't have any lazy Haitians. Are you kidding me?
Starve to death if you're lazy.
Yeah, exactly, right? That doesn't happen. You bring them into the environment where the opportunities are, and Haitian people just thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, those opportunities are just not back home.
And so they have to leave Haiti.
In
Does he
order
have
to
ambition? You see, if they understand Tom's book, can you explain, if you were in Haiti today, could you teach a Haiti person to make money and pay less taxes?
Of course. Here's the things. The tax laws actually, shockingly, are pretty much the same around the world. Everybody thinks their place is different. You can't do that here. You can do it in the U.S., but you can't do it here, right, in Haiti. And when you look at it, think about what the government wants to have done. If anything the government wants to have done, chances are there's a tax break associated with it. Because what the government knows more than anything is that everybody hates paying taxes. The government knows that. They're not that stupid. They do know you don't like paying taxes. And so it's a big incentive. They can give a 10% incentive over here and get a lot of action over here. And so that's the way the tax law works. So it's just a matter of understanding, like you talk about mindset. Okay, once I shift to how can I make taxes work for me instead of having taxes work against me.
So, Miss Attorney.
Yes.
I want you to promise me you're going to read this book.
Absolutely.
I'm
not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me.
I know.
And for my people.
And to fire your accountant.
Right. Correct. I got to get this information in me because really
You can't help the people.
Because the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. And
That's
so
right.
I'm an attorney.
Right. Exactly
I
right.
do well with what I know, but this stuff is just...
But you're already smart enough to know this stuff. That's the important thing.
Right.
But if nobody teaches that to
That's right.
You see, the other thing I want to talk about tax planning, okay? Right now it's almost 2020.
Yep.
Tom and I are now in 2022. We're that far ahead of the curve. I'm already figuring out how to make more money, and
Pay less tax.
it takes planning. And your accountant should be fired. They're going to be dog food pretty soon because artificial intelligence and blockchain is going to clean them all out of here anyway. And that's the problem. And they're good people.
Yeah, of course.
And they're
I'm
smart.
sure she's doing what she knows. She thinks she's giving me good advice. She's not giving me
Un poco.
un petit.
Petit. And here's the thing, you got to spend money. This is almost as dumb an answer as I need to make less money as I need to spend more money. Because, okay, if you were going to do that anyway, okay, if you were going to put up that billboard anyway,
Then great.
great, do it now instead of 3 weeks from now. But if you weren't going to do that, then you're actually spending $1 to save 40 cents. Why would you do that? Save $1 to spend 40 cents. And yet I see that advice all the time with accountants. It's, you talk about missions. I mean, here's my mission, right? Because I just see it. I see it constantly. Make less money, spend more money. I mean, these
Expensive.
are just
Put it into
bad
your business.
ideas.
I'll put it into your pocket.
Right.
You know?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or as Robert's always talking about, put it into assets.
Or I want to put stuff for my kids. That's
Assets
what
that grow.
They drive me to do
Well,
that
and
stuff.
here's the thing with your kids, your kids can actually save you taxes. This is what probably nobody's telling you, is that your kids have this great benefit. They have tax brackets, and there's all sorts of things you can involve your children with to actually reduce your taxes. It's a whole, you have to look at the
Mindset.
whole picture. It's a whole mindset.
Yeah. And we're not screwing the government. You see, the government wants this done, right, Tom?
Well, yeah, let me give you the example of your kids, okay? So if you have a business and your children, how old are they?
10 and 5.
Okay, so they're 10 and 5, and you say, okay, what can my 10-year-old do that was involved in my business? Well, the government says, if you pay your child, which is legal, not only can you pay your child, but you don't have to pay Social Security taxes on the money you pay your child. So does that sound like the government doesn't want you to do that? No, that's a reward for involving your children in your business. And so what we're looking for is
children about business.
the rewards. And I mean, you think about it. Is the government better off if your child knows how to work?
Of course.
Is the government better off if they know how to do your business and you could pass it on to them? See, all of these things, all we're doing is what the government wants us to do, and they're rewarding us because we're doing it. And the good news about that is, we think about B, and that's the big business, right? And we think about I, and that's the inside investor, the professional investor. But here's the thing. Tax laws are fair from the standpoint that if you do the same thing that they do, you get the same tax benefits.
If you
don't have to be big.
Donald Trump does, you get the same breaks Donald Trump does.
Exactly the same.
Tell anybody you know him, but anyway.
Yeah, don't do that, please. but you can do things on a smaller scale. And as long as you follow the same rules, they just have a different set of rules. It's just that most people don't know that there's two sets of rules. There's the rules for the E and the S's, and then there's the rules for the B and the I, and the E's and the S's especially, they can use those rules. They just need to understand what those rules are.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.
would never